Go.
Hi guys, welcome back to Diaries of a Retiree. Today I'm actually in the company of Paul. Hi
Hello.
Paul.
Hi there. How are you?
Great. So Paul, tell me a little bit about what you did in your career before retirement.
So, I was an architect. So, trained as an architect starting in 1977 at Manchester University. So, it's a 7-year course. And when I came out, you do a final year's, I suppose, work experience as part of your final qualification. And I managed to secure a job in sunny Newark for a very large commercial practice called Benoy.
Great.
And so I spent most of my working life there as first off a job in architect, project architect. When I left, I was senior associate director, so I was effectively running a third of the office.
Great.
So I started off on the smaller jobs, but I was running multi-million-pound projects.
So that's not really designing houses then, evidently.
It's not, no, it's shopping centres, town centre regeneration, so it's big stuff, and running teams of up to 14 people. So yeah, it's quite a challenging job. And then two of my former colleagues, they'd left, formed their own company, and they approached me and said, "Would you like to come and join us?"
Right.
Which complete massive difference in life, because within a year I was a full equity partner with them, and the projects there were really much smaller.
Yeah.
Mainly residential, some commercial, and I brought my own little bit of my own skill sets, and we started to build that practice up.
Fantastic.
And
how long did you run that business for?
So I was there about 20 years.
How did your retirement come about?
So COVID really hit the practice hard. So
Yeah.
the sports consultancy effectively ceased trading.
Yeah.
Because all the sports jobs, literally, all the funding stopped, and the projects all stopped. So
Yes.
there was no work.
Yeah.
So the practice went down to about 10 people. And of course, being a small practice like that, every member, especially the two key directors, have a critical input into what happens at the practice. So it was a question of how the hell do you manage a retirement? Going from 3 to 2 wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Because the other two just picked up the slack and it just carried on as it always did. When you lose a second one, somebody's left, quote, holding the baby, which is which is very difficult. So it was very much a managed retirement, and it took place probably over 3 years.
Right. So I guess people who are employees very much have this glamorous image of I want to run my own business. But what you're saying is it's not such a piece of cake.
It's absolutely not. No, the reality is very different, because you are financially responsible for not only 10 people's wages and their livelihoods and their families, but you're also responsible for getting work in, running the business, running the cash flow. And everything with small businesses involves cash flow. Cash flow is king. Chasing unpaid invoices. And post-COVID, that side of the work just became really painful.
Yeah.
Managing cash flow and just trying to get people to pay was very challenging. But we managed it.
Yeah.
And we managed to find a roadmap for my retirement. So it literally was staged.
So it was a 3-year planned retirement.
It's a 3-year plan. Yeah.
So now you are fully retired.
So I'm now resigned as a director from all the businesses. So that leaves me with no financial responsibilities now, which is great. And the last year of my retirement was effectively, I was formally resigned a year ago, but the agreement was I would go back a day a week just to pick up slack and add my specialist input where required. And it's great because there's no responsibility, and I'm going back to what I always loved doing.
Right.
So
you've done a full circle since your training.
Yeah, so I started off designing buildings, which is what you spend 7 years doing. I finished up running a business, and I had no training as a businessman, but now I've gone back to designing buildings again.
Yeah.
So there's no stress, no pressure. I just come in and do probably what I was best at, to be fair.
I think that's the thing when people retire. Everybody promises to keep in contact, but the reality is they don't.
No.
Is that the reality for you to a large extent?
No, not to a large extent, because I'm still going back every Tuesday. So my former work colleagues, I'm still very much in contact with.
Yes.
And, but certainly with the clients, I try not to have any input with them at all.
Yeah.
Just because it's unfair on the people that are now taking those projects forward. They've got to be the face.
So you're going back, say, 1 day a week, every week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What do you do the other time?
Oh, I mean, we live on a 2/3 of an acre plot.
Right.
And there's a lot of work needs to be done on it. So that's taking up quite a bit of time. But also we've got the caravan now, so we're disappearing off for a week here, a week there, or a long weekend. So yeah, trying to relax.
Yeah.
So that certainly rings.
But having that freedom is that something that you've seen?
Absolutely. And I've never felt that I've missed work.
Yeah.
I think maybe because when I started to retire, it had just become more and more of a problem. It wasn't pleasant going to work because it was all negative stuff rather than positive stuff.
Yeah.
So that side of it is all very good, and I don't miss it. But then keeping myself busy, I've always been pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I never get bored. I will always find something to do. So I've not had any of those issues that I know other people have had.
Yeah.
When they do a sort of an abrupt retirement and then think, now what?
Any advice you would give to somebody who's considering retiring?
Find something to do. Make sure you've got hobbies that you can get it. And play a musical instrument. I mean, I promised myself I'll pick up the guitar again. And it's a funny old thing. I've barely picked it up since I retired. But something like a musical instrument would be brilliant, or any hobby. And I think that's critical. I think just to sort of sit at home and think, now what? Would be a problem.
Great.
So it's very, and it's very easy for me to say, go and find something to do, but you've got to be proactive.
Yeah.
And go and find something to do. Join clubs. Enjoy yourself. Go and explore the UK. I mean, that's where the caravan's brilliant, because it's cheap, and you can just spend a lot of time exploring parts of the UK that you've never been to before. So.
I know you've got 2 dogs.
Yeah.
You and your wife love walking.
Yeah.
What about maintaining your physical fitness?
Again, I've always done a fair bit of exercise, and I think I'm lucky in the fact that I can still scramble up mountains without too much effort. And I think that probably goes back from my younger years, having a natural level of fitness, and I've just always maintained it. But yeah, absolutely. I think exercise is key to just being happy when you're retired, because it allows you to do so much more. And it allows you to actually prolong your useful years.
Yeah.
There are too many people my age that can barely walk down the end of the street, let alone up a mountain.
Yeah.
And so I think if you've got that fitness, go and keep it, because it does help. And that, I suppose it's mental health as well. Physical exercise, and certainly if you're up in the mountains. I think in COVID, people suddenly found the outside, they found the mountains, and it helped a lot of people through COVID.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something I've known about for years, because it's something that I've always done. So I think that could be something that would keep people busy.
They talk about that connection with nature being so powerful and important for mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, how's it for you?
Well, again, it's something I've done all my life, so I always feel happier when I'm north in the hills. Send me down to London, I'd be miserable as sin. So it's something I've always known, something I've always done. So, long may it continue.
Yeah.
I still think, mid-70s, if I'm still scrambling up mountains, brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Thanks, Paul.
It's all right.
Thanks for joining the channel. Thanks, everybody, for joining Diaries of a Retiree. Please subscribe and click likes to the channel, and then we'll put more posts on in the future. Thanks a lot.